Good night, people. We'll just wait for the live to fill up and then we will get started. Share the live, please. Share the live. Yes. Hey, T. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Terran, how are you doing, darling? Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to everyone out there. Hope you guys had a fantastic day. Me, I had to work. Yes, somebody got to work. All right. Father, we confess our needs for you today. We need your healing and your grace. We need hope restored. Forgive us for trying to fix our situation all on our own. We know that true help and healing is found only in you. Forgive us for forgetting how much we need you. We come to you and bring you the place where we are hurting. You know the pain we have carried, the burdens and the cares. You know we need to be set free. We ask that you lift us up on your shoulders and carry us at this time because we need you right now. We ask for peace at this time in the midst of a storm. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen. Good night, good night, good night, Avril. Night, Arian. Please share the page, like up the page. Welcome again to another episode of Motivational Monday. You know, we're here to encourage and to empower, right? So, our goal is to educate and empower anyone regardless of race, culture, ethnicity, or faith struggling with an assortment of life adversities. We believe education enlightens dark paths less traveled and liberates a sense of hopelessness. We believe the safety of transparency illuminate and activate the true meaning of caring, sharing, unveils, and emancipate wholeness. Our group sessions are designed to introduce a mix of information, live topic that surrounds individuals, our families, our communities, and nation. Your contribution in uplifting and supporting others in their struggle, we appreciate. I assure you that Motivational Monday with Philly and Phyllis continue to provide the highest standard of service and comfort in our conversation that exceeds. And I want to just tell you that sorry about that. Just giving God all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory, because let me tell you, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. All right, June, good night, darling. So I'm going to give you the word of this week. Philia is on her way, and she'll be here shortly. All right. So happy Labor Day, guys. Again, hope that everyone is doing great. And I hope that you guys had a great day today. And I hope that the parkway was great and free of any, harm to anyone. All right? Give me a moment. One moment. Give me one moment. Happy birthday, Kwan.
Getting to Queens was crazy, yo.
I know.
That's why I picked Philly up. I couldn't go Jackie Robinson. I had to go to Bell. As soon as I got to Queens, ain't nobody else up.
Yeah. Alright, no problem. She should be here just now, right? Okay, guys, yes. So the word of this week is andiology. We focus on adults and so prefer to use them as andiology. We have found that adults have their own specific challenges in the learning journey, and we are specifically set up to address them. So the word of this week is andiology. All right. The health tip for this week, I'm going to talk about stroke, because I find especially a lot of adults now seems to have this problem, and it's a very, very serious problem. All right. Okay, so a stroke occurs when an artery in your brain is blocked or leaks. This causes trusted source that oxygen deprives brain cells to begin drying in within minutes. During a stroke, you feel sudden numbness and confusion or have trouble walking and seeing. If left untreated, a stroke can cause long-term disability. In fact, strokes are leading cause trusted source of long-term disabilities. People who receive treatments within 3 hours of having a stroke are less likely to have a disability. The Center of Disease and Prevention report one survey found that 93% of people knew sudden numbness on one side was a symptom of a stroke. However, only 38% knew all the symptoms that will prompt them to look for emergency care. Risk factors and prevention: high blood pressure, family history of stroke, smoking, especially when combined with oral contraceptives, being African American, being female. Some risk factors of stroke can be lowered with preventative care, medication, and lifestyle changes. In general, good health habit can lower trusted source and risk. Stroke prevention method may include controlling high blood pressure with medication. You should also maintain a healthy lifestyle, complete with a regular exercise and a balanced diet that's low in sodium. If you smoke, consider quitting and drinking only in moderation, as these activities increase your risk of a stroke. Alright, so again, if you feel any type of numbness, don't take it just like that, you know. Just get to your healthcare provider as soon as possible, because you never know when a stroke is coming on. Alright? So I want to say happy birthday to Kwan. Kwan is in our group, and I just want to wish him all God blessing to see many more birthdays, you know. And if you're celebrating a birthday or had a birthday weekend going, happy birthday. All right. So guys, our topic today, we want to talk about be in the known. And being in the known is very relevant, I would say, of, you know, being in existence, being known what is around you, being in the known of, you know, just making sure that everything, you know, you're in there. So we're going to have a discussion about being in the known. Okay, Philia is joining us now.
Hello, Labor Dayers.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, now tell them happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, everyone.
And happy birthday to Kwan.
Happy birthday to Kwan.
You know, loving the house always.
Yes, always. Okay.
So, we're going to talk a bit today about being in the known, you know? And we're going to ask for discernment because I think a lot of people lack what they have,
Right.
you know? And I want to just say, what is discernment?
Right.
In the simplest term, discernment is wisdom. The dictionary defines discernment as the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure, skill in discerning, an act of perceiving or discerning something. Discernment is the ability to judge well or the activity of doing so. If it can be psychological, moral, or aesthetic in nature. That's a good question. Discernment and judgment are both related in making decision or evaluating, but they have different meaning and implication. So we're saying discernment is the ability to judge well or the activity or doing so, and judgment is the act of process of forming an opinion, making a decision after careful thought. So people may think it means the same thing, but
Right.
it doesn't.
Right. Okay. To me, discernment is being able to have a moral compass and making particular, guiding you to make the best decision. But the judgment, right, is the one where you're making assumptions about things without being fully informed.
Right.
Okay.
So this is like attracting fakeness to a profile, fake news, fake teeth in some people. It serves a purpose for smile and different things like that.
Right.
The only difference was, you know, like sometimes you look at buying fake products.
Correct.
But the only difference in that is the price. That's how you know it's fake.
Correct.
Right? Not because you see someone drive an expensive car means that they can afford it.
That's correct.
Maybe they not eating properly. Maybe they're hungry and
Yes.
just for peer pressure, they want to be in with the flins. You know,
right.
they portray something.
Correct.
You understand?
Right.
You know, you have to ask yourself these questions sometimes. You know, if it's not looking good, it's just not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
it's always good to be in the known. And you know, some people, especially now with social media, some people portray to have this perfect life,
Yeah, they don't.
and they don't.
Correct.
You understand?
Right.
And we just have to continue asking God to come into our lives and help us to see things for what they are.
Yep, I agree. I like this idea of, I would say, emphasizing this idea of being in the know, because you're right. People want to put their best foot forward, but sometimes putting your best foot forward would have you pretentious. I think that people are doing that because they're afraid to face the world for really showing themselves for who they are. So I think social media plays the devil in that, right? Because you want everything to look good, you know, you're putting on filters,
Right.
you know,
Putting on fake eyelashes.
Yes, fake eyelashes. You're putting on how you call it, erasing dimples from your body.
Yeah.
You're making your skin look better than it really is.
You're going to do your
You're
body
doing
to
that-
look like
to
somebody.
look like someone or something. So I think that being able to just accept yourself for who you are, love yourself for who you are, and it's okay. No one is saying not to enhance yourself, because some people like to enhance themselves, whether it's through cosmetics, whether it's through cosmetic surgery, but be real about it. Don't pretend that you were born that way. Say
Right.
that, you know what, I was insecure about certain things and I don't have the confidence that you have in this particular area, so I did that to boost my self-esteem.
Same.
But people respect the truth and honesty and transparency. So
Yeah, I think we need to count our blessings.
yes.
Because I think so many of us lack that.
Yes, I
Lack
agree.
the understanding and the knowledge.
Yes.
So be very careful how you live. All right? And we go into Ephesians 5:15. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand that the Lord will is. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to
Debauchery.
debauchery.
Right, debauchery. That's like trouble, disaster.
Instead, be filled with the Spirit,
Right.
speaking to one another with psalms, hymns, and song from the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord. And always give thanks to God the Father for everything in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
So what is he? Good night, everyone.
Good night.
So what is he saying here? He's saying, be in the known, be aware.
Right. And
You
be
understand?
grateful
Be
for what you
grateful.
have, because it can easily be taken away. Yes.
And sometimes, especially like last week, I was driving in going down to Brooklyn, and they had about 4 children driving in the street with these bikes, with the bicycle. So, you know, one decided to just drive in the middle. So I blow him, and the little boy say, "F you." You understand? So I'm just saying that to say that don't give people your peace of mind.
Right. Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because you never know. We need all of our mind.
Correct.
So that is being like road rage. Because I was going to stop the car and
And-
say, little boy, who you think you're talking to like that?
Right.
But I just choose to ignore.
Right.
But we just saying these are the younger generation that they quick to curse you out.
And quick
They
to
quick
react.
to react.
Correct.
You
And not
understand?
think about the consequences
Says
that can come with
after.
it. That's
So
correct.
we just trying to say choose your battles
Right.
daily, because daily people will test us.
They will. They
You
will.
understand?
And choosing the battles and choosing wisely comes from discernment.
Yes.
You know, with asking God to, you know, give you the wisdom to be able to make the correct decisions, you know, and have your moral compass. So I think.
And take a long walk. If you know that you're getting angry or you had an argument, take a long walk. And if you feel very, very angry, take a longer walk.
Longer work.
You understand?
Right,
Because I
right.
think we all need to take time out sometimes.
Right.
We all need to walk away sometimes from
That's correct.
situations. And I always say, choose your battles. Not
Yeah,
all
not
battles
everything needs
are
to
to
be
be fought.
Yes, I agree with you.
You know?
Because then it will be hard to decipher which ones are more important than others if everything becomes a fire.
Right.
I agree with you. Okay.
Right? Once again, you can share the page. And guys, we are talking today. Our topic is being in the known.
Right.
Being in the known. Being aware of your surroundings.
Right.
And discerning people look around, they look behind,
Yes.
and they look ahead.
Yeah, that's correct.
You want to elaborate on that?
All around. Yes, I think that when everyone is really aware of their perceptions, I think you are what you think you are. So it's really important to be well informed. You know, if you have limited knowledge, that's what you're going to speak, that's what you're going to convey, that's what you're going to bring out in others. So it's important for you to continue to read, elevate yourself, you know, travel, speak to others, expand your friendships, expand your circle sometimes.
Right.
You know, not in the sense like, oh, get all kinds of people to bring close to you, but don't be limited.
And sometimes the
you know?
people that are close to you,
Are not
they
necessarily
show you who they are.
really are.
So then you
Correct.
have to leave those people right where they are.
Or love them from afar.
Or love them
if
from
you
afar.
don't want to physically leave.
And sometimes we outgrow friendships
you
too.
do, yeah.
We
absolutely.
outgrow.
And it's okay.
We outgrow people
We
in our
outgrow
home.
people, we outgrow friendships.
And because some people say, oh, you find you all this, that, and the other. Yes, I'm this, that, and the other
Right.
because I don't want to be around you anymore.
Correct, right.
You know, you're negative impact, you're
Yeah.
negative, and you're negative. And I just want positive.
Positivity, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Honor your past without living in it. And what we mean
That's really
is honor your past without living in it.
Right.
So we're not saying to go back in your past and you know, this one do me this and that one do that, and you know, no, honor it, but don't live in it. So that means that is snapshots of your life.
I love the snapshots, the idea, because you always talk about when we're driving and looking at the rear view mirror. So your front or your windshield gives you the larger perspective,
Yes.
and saying that, look, there's so many things you
Yes.
can go out and get. And the rear view mirror is tiny because you're only able to see those moments, those flashbacks. You don't focus on it. It's
Right.
not the most important thing. So that's how you should live your life.
Yes.
Only look back to see how far you've come,
Yes.
but it should not set
Hold you
precedents
down.
to hold you down.
It shouldn't,
Correct.
you know,
It shouldn't prevent you from
moving
progressing.
forward
I agree.
and staying in a rut and staying down in the valley.
100%.
You need to come out of the valley
Come out
and
of it.
come out to the top.
Yeah.
You need to climb that mountain and just come out to the top.
Yeah.
Circles become smaller and more valuable.
Very
yes.
good.
Yes. Yes.
I like that idea of the circles
Circles.
because.
Night, Dane, Colleen. Thank
Hey,
you
Dave.
guys.
Hey, everyone. I like this idea of circles because when you talk about a circle of influence, I always talk about that. You want your circle of influence to expand, not your circle of concern to shrink. Because if you are concerned about everything, how are
Yes.
you impacting
Yes.
your inner circle?
You can't.
Right? But if you only are concerned with your inner circle, you will affect change. Almost think of like how a target is, right? The pulsating target that comes all the way out. That's what you want to be, not the one that shrinks everything in. So,
Again, I don't know if you all want to write it down. Honor your past without living in it.
Yes.
All right,
That's
I think-
such a great statement when you think
Thank you,
about it.
Bishop Browner.
Yes.
Right? Yes, I think that is so profound because many people tend to live in their past
their
and it
past.
keeps holding them
And
down.
use it to
So
dictate their
honor
future
it.
and
It
your
come
present.
like tests to make testimonies so
Correct.
that we can come out here and talk to you guys. So that is
Right.
good. Be kind to everyone.
Oh, that's my favorite one. You know, just recently, I think my daughter was showing me on, I don't know if it was TikTok or one of those social media platforms where a young lady got hit with a brick in her head because some guy was trying to talk to her and she dissed him.
Wow.
And he hit her with a brick and like kind of disfigured her face. And it's so interesting because that's something that I've had even discussions like with Quan, you know, and just other people like, oh, you too nice. Why, when people talk to you, talk back, you know? And my whole thing is, even if it's a homeless person in the streets and
Yes.
they're
Be
maybe
kind.
not smelling next to you on the
Be
train,
kind to
when they
others.
speak to me, I'm like, you know, I'll still answer. I don't want to necessarily have long conversation because I don't, you know, also want to offend those around because
Right.
at that time, they're still human beings. This is
Right.
still someone's father, someone's child, someone's uncle, someone's brother,
Right.
you know, and they weren't always like that. We don't know what circumstance leads them to that. So if they say
Exactly.
hello,
Just say hello
you
back.
just say hello back.
Yeah.
And if you're really uncomfortable,
And if a homeless person come to beg too, if you have the dollar, you can
just
give it to them.
Right, right.
It's no need to wonder if they're going to buy drugs with it.
It's not your
whatever.
concern.
It's not our business.
Not your business.
It's either you do it from the kindness of
Or
your
you're
heart
not.
or you don't do it at
Correct.
all and keep it
and
moving.
you just say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it to you. And then you don't have to explain,
Yes.
you know.
Or
owe them
if they
anything.
ask you for something to eat, go and purchase it.
Purchase
10
it,
to
right.
1, they're hungry.
Mhm.
You know, COVID have left a lot of people
Right.
homeless
Right.
and that cannot afford, and especially young people.
Right.
So all we're saying is to be kind.
Just be kind. Just be kind. And if someone is being disrespectful, of course, kindly remove yourself, kindly ignore. But, you know, some people just sometimes don't take no for an answer.
Exactly.
And they can get violent. So
Yes.
just be watchful.
Just be mindful.
Be
That's why we
mindful.
say look around,
around you.
look
Yeah.
behind,
That's correct.
and look in front. Look ahead.
Mhm.
Be around aware of your surroundings.
Correct.
All right?
Right.
Perception is your point of view.
100%.
All right?
Right.
Perception is how you understand,
Mhm.
interpret your perspective.
Okay, so on that, I completely always say perception and being perspective is key. The reason why is a little different because your perception is what you see. That's why you have to broaden your perception.
That's why you have to look in front,
look in front, right?
be around,
Right.
and ahead.
Because
Go
it's
ahead.
like having blinders.
Yes.
If it's just what you see, you're not taking no for an answer. You're not looking at anybody else's point of view. You become extremely subjective, and you want to be objective. When you're subjective, you're taking everything personal. You're internalizing everything. It's your way or the highway. But when you're being objective, you're looking and empathizing with others. You're putting yourself in other shoes. You're looking at the world from a different lens. It's really important because it also kind of elevates you to become to not necessarily smarter, but wiser. Let me put it that way, because there is a difference as well, even though it might seem like it's the same thing. But when you're wise, it's wisdom. It's about encompassing so many other things, not just being book smart. It's your experiences, your life experiences, talking to others, learning things from others. So perception is what you think. Broaden your perceptions. So
and your perspective is influential by a pause. Example, like the Sabbath is on the 5th or the 7th day. You need a time to rest.
Yes, and that's all about self-reflection.
Yes.
That's all part
Prayer,
of perspective. Correct.
concentrate on God's word, the pace, the things that look different, your speed, slow down.
That's correct.
Slow your roll.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Take it down a notch, and it's a time for reflection. Change the pace.
Right.
You understand? We go all the time, and we don't take time for ourselves. We studying our husbands, our children, our family.
Right.
You understand? Sometimes you have to just slow down.
Yeah, I agree.
And sometimes you may just need to lie down in your bed all day.
Yeah.
Netflix. Don't think about the husband. Don't think about the kids.
Friends.
You understand? Your friends.
Family,
Take time to detach, even if you can take time away from social media. Because social media eats up a lot of people's time. And half of the things that is being on social media is not truth. You know how many times they kill people on social media?
Right. You
understand? You know how many times gossip and different things fly like wires. So it's always good to check Google, check Bing, and check fact, and ask,
check
is this real? Is this, is this what they're saying? Is this person died? Does this, because people come out, they steal your profile. They have so many things now that they steal your voice, they crypto,
using AI
I mean, it's just crazy. So just be aware, be known, take time, slow down, check your bank account, put up alerts on your account every time you spend money. You want something to know that it's you spending your money and not someone else. Look at all these scams. People come into a messenger, they always want money. From the time they start to ask you for money, it's a scam. Still some people, older people, getting scammed. Sometimes they're calling them on the phone now and saying, hi, I'm calling from Chase Bank. Chase Bank don't call nobody like that. It's just like Social Security, don't call nobody. You understand? So we have to be aware and train our minds and train our parents, grandparents, because they're not intact with digital.
Correct.
You understand?
So we have to really let them know that if they see something, say something. Right? Don't just respond. Don't give out your personal information because it looks official. It's not always the case. So a
place where you sit determine what you see. Example, people who are locked up in jail. They have a lot of time to think.
They do. That's where solitary confinement comes in.
But again, when you're slowing down, think about an exotic island that you would like to be sipping on some peanut colada. You understand? Or different things, because circumstances, again, if we don't do the right thing and we look to pick a fight, like let's say we in a relationship and I pick in a fight with you and I decide, I want to cuff Philia down right now. What are the consequences? Are you willing to sit in jail for cuffing me down or touching me? What direction? Where you want to go? Where do you want to head? So we always have to think before our actions.
Absolutely.
We always have to think it out, because Satan, he come to steal, kill and destroy.
Absolutely.
So again, choosing our battles. All right?
Very good.
Provision is when you have enough to live. Now, you see your country, how you live in. Right? Whatever you are distracted by, a lesser or what you distracted, for example, anointed family, different things, right? It's less important for you to get distracted, crazy thoughts, right? Distraction is the destruction of your dreams.
Wow.
I would say that again. Distraction is the destruction of your dreams.
I love that. I will not forget it.
Thank you, Bishop Browner.
Bishop Browner, I love it. I think, first of all, you know me, I love like play on words, destruction. I'm never going to forget that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually a great thing to put into perspective again, because now you're learning more. It's not just your perception, it's now perspective, because it becomes self-reflective. That's awesome. Yes.
All right.
That's what distraction
A
is.
lack of discernment leads to distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Distraction leads to deception.
Yeah.
Deception. Hold on. I got my notes here, guys.
That's good.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have it right here. Okay, so let me read that again.
Mm-hmm.
Distraction is the destruction of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
A lack of discernment leads to distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Distraction leads to deception. Deception leads to disobedience. Disobedience leads to dislocation, and dislocation leads to destruction. Destruction leads to death. And let me amplify on it. All right?
Go ahead.
You're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're going into a relationship with somebody who is deception. They promise you all these things, you know.
Don't follow through like
And you know that it is not good, so you're disobedient.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when things go left now, maybe you get caught from the wife, your dislocation, you're all over the place. Right? And when you dislocate your arm now, you end up in destruction.
Right.
And now destruction could lead you to your death.
Wow.
Okay? So you can elaborate on that.
Okay. I like the breakdown, right? I like the breakdown of the words. I like the breakdown of the concepts, because when you think of your body, what makes your body whole is the fact that your arms, your legs, your fingers, everything works hand in hand to continue to make you mobile, to make you move. When something is dislocated or fractured, the body has to overcompensate for that area, because then it's like when you have your limbs and you're not using it, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. Right? So it's kind of the same idea when I think of being fractured within yourself. It can lead to your destruction and then lead to your demise, because you're now overcompensating in other areas of your life instead of focusing on the totality of what's more important.
Right.
So that's what I'm getting from hearing this. So
Yes.
I like the breakdown, because I'm thinking of it in like body parts and
Right.
to make you whole.
Right.
When one is off, everything else is off. You
Everything.
need a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
So that's why the distraction is the key. You need not to be distracted. You need to focus
Right.
on God.
And we always say this topic is about being in the known.
Yes.
Being in the known. And I love the analogy. You know, this was really good when I heard it.
Right.
You know, a lack of discernment leads to distraction.
Right.
Distraction leads to deception.
Right.
Deception leads to disobedience.
Right.
Disobedience leads to dislocation.
Yeah.
Dislocation leads to destruction, and destruction leads to death.
Yes.
So whatever
Amen.
choices and things in life, this is
Right.
just only life journey here, you know.
That's it.
This is
That's
life
it.
journey in a brief state.
Yes. The reason why I really like this, I
This
was
is deep.
actually talking about it today. I was saying, I feel like I'm finally in a position of power or authority, in a sense where I can help more people
Right.
along, because I'm put now in this position. But I said that the reason why we continue to repeat our mistakes is because we're not learning from them. And sometimes God puts things in our way to build character and strength so that we don't repeat those same mistakes. So growing up, I always try to uplift everybody around me simultaneously, instead of going on my path and my talents and my gifts and then coming back and helping others. I used to feel like, oh no, we all have to go together. We got
Right.
this, we got this.
Right.
But sometimes when you do that, you clip your wings.
Right.
You have to realize what your gift is, I guess.
Yes.
And once you realize it, you got to go after your gift. You can't
Yes.
just sit there trying to make everybody be part of the gift. Everyone has their own
Right.
unique gift. So once I started to realize I can't take everybody with me,
Right.
I said, you know what? I have to focus on what God wants for me.
Right.
And it seems like as soon as I did that, now I was able to help more people more quickly because I concentrated on what that purpose was. I listened to God.
And then too, it gives you a sense of where you could think better.
Yeah.
And that
you're not burdened
Right.
by the heaviness of the other burdens.
Saving everyone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when I think of this is how I feel. I feel like we all have a purpose. I mean, even the baby that dies within hours of birth,
Yes.
that baby still had a purpose. If whether the purpose was to teach the mom about, love or forgiveness or something, it could be, rekindling a marriage, and sometimes it takes the death of a child to make the couples, hold on to each other. We don't know what
Yes,
that is.
yes.
God does everything, but it's purposeful about whatever. You just have to ask him to have an understanding
Yes.
of what it's for. So, the sun shines and the moon rises or sets on good and bad people.
Right.
So you have to realize that bad things don't always happen to bad people.
Yeah.
But it's not about the now. It's renewal of the mind and not concern yourself with the matters of the world. Don't become of the world because
yes.
it's not.
Be in the known.
Yeah, you got to be in the known. You have to
Discernment.
start to recognize that this here is temporary.
Yes.
This skin.
It's temporary. Everything is
nothing.
temporary.
It's really nothing. It's what happens after.
Yes.
That is the most important thing because that's everlasting. This
Yes.
stuff here is
It's-
limited.
yes.
We have a number on everything. There's an expiration date.
We
on
all have
everything.
we all have a time
like an expiration date. That's
Yes.
how I see it.
in the
you know?
Lamb Book of Life. It's
Yeah.
just when your number call,
Yeah,
you
when
call.
your number- and
That's
that's it.
one thing with death.
Yeah,
People can't accept death, but death is a must.
it's a must. And
And it's just a matter of time. When
And
is
it's
your
coming.
time?
Right.
We
Right.
will feel sad and everything,
Right.
but we all have a time to come here. A time to. We all have our time.
My brother-in-law had said it best. Like when there was a family friend that passed a couple of months ago, and I was like, I can't. So this person just died just like that. Like they were fine and they just died.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, God has marked this for everyone.
Yes.
So I don't care if you think that, if you're going to die in Dubai on the plane,
Yeah.
you'd be like, Dubai? Why would I end up there? But somehow, some way,
Yeah.
something happened. Phyllis said, hey, I got a buddy pass.
Yeah.
You want to go to Dubai?
Yes.
You go to Dubai, and then that's when you die.
Yeah.
You just don't know, and you don't
the
know
time or the
where
hour he tell you
and
that.
how it happens. But
Yeah.
if it's marked,
It's marked.
it's marked.
Nothing
and
could
you just
take
have
it.
to know that you can't be like, what if? There's no what ifs
Yeah.
with God.
No.
It just is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So whenever you are in a position in life,
Mhm.
anytime you're questioning yourself,
Mhm.
ask, where will this lead
Mm.
you? Example, if you hook up with somebody
Uh-huh.
else's property,
Oh, my
where
property is my
would
property.
that lead you?
Right.
If you go and do a robbery, where
that-
would it lead you? If you are an alcoholic, where would it lead you? You must
good.
ask yourself these questions
Mhm.
whenever or whatever step that you're trying to go to on a next level.
Mhm.
Ask yourself, where would it lead you?
Which is why you say for every action, it's
There
an
we-
opposite and equal reaction. So whenever something happens on one end, it has to come out somewhere else. So if it's dealing with the person who's in a relationship,
Right.
you know,
If you hooking up with somebody who give you a ride,
Right.
where would it lead you? Would it lead you
Whatever.
to destruction?
Right.
Would it lead you to have a relationship,
Right.
to have unwanted children?
Right.
Where would that decision
lead you.
lead you? We need to make better decisions.
Right.
You know something is not good for you, but yet you're going in
still
and blind
going in.
eyes.
Right.
So with blinders on your eyes. You understand? And then, oh, why me?
Right.
Why
And then
this
you
is
become a victim.
happening?
Correct.
I coulda,
Right.
woulda, shoulda. I have to get in that voice for you guys.
Yes, because that's the
we
voice.
want because that is the voice
Right.
that this come to us.
Mhm.
You know, oh, I shouldn't have been in this position,
Mhm.
but you went into it, so then you should know where it will lead you to the ending. Correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Were you ever in that situation?
even if you don't know,
Sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
all have been.
We all have been in situations where we knew
that
the
it's not
outcome
good.
is
It's
not
good. And
but
you
we still do it.
we still have hope. Like in a bad marriage or a bad relationship, and you still have hope that
Maybe
know what, he will change.
it's gonna change.
Maybe it's going. No.
Nope, doesn't change. Only leopards. Leopards don't change their spots.
Yes.
So I think that's where that hope thing comes in. But the same way we have that hope, we need to have faith in the same way, and change that perspective and put it more towards the person who's going, or the being that's going to give you what you're really looking for.
Right.
Put that same energy into that instead of people, because you can't rely on them.
Exactly. And if you don't know where it will lead you, look at someone else's life. See if they made any sense. We have a lot of examples of people. You know, like I used to say I don't want to be like my mom, because my mom had 14 children, one after the other, and I didn't want that for my life, because my mom never had a life. She had to stay home and see about all of us. She couldn't get to work. You understand? And she had it hard having all these kids, and you know, she can't do anything but see about us. I mean, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, but growing up, I always say, you know, I don't want to be that person who has all these kids. I never wanted kids with Tom, Dick, and Harry either. You know, so there's certain things that I set for myself as a young child growing up. You understand? I wouldn't be with somebody who is abusive either, who want to curse me out, who no, and those type of behavior, I never grew up with it, and I'm not going now to you know, alter that to be in a relationship for someone to disrespect me. So I have a lot of standards that I just not going for.
Good for you.
You understand? So, you know, I understand with this statement here, you know, look at people and see if you want to be where they are.
Yeah, you can use them as a basis to see where you are, because that's okay. It's like healthy competition, you know, a little bit, or just self-reflection. Sometimes it's like, you know, this person is the same age group, this is what they're doing, I wonder where I stand. But then you also have to look at yourself as being unique. You're not the same, and it's okay to be in the know, in the sense. That's what this is all about.
And if you're following the encouragement, where would it lead? Because you can't follow a blind person, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, like your friends, your friends. Okay, let's do an example with friendship, because I find you see it most with friendship. So if you see your friend going out every Friday night and hooking up with other people, that friend is a reflection of you. So what will people think of you?
What you doing the same hookup?
Okay, if you smoking in front of your kids, cursing them, where would that lead you?
The kids following suit.
Okay. So we can take a lot of examples to show really if you really want to be like other people, or whatever direction you would like. So all we're saying is just be in the know. All right? Be on your guard. Be on your guard, because a lot of people tends to not be on the guard, and you know, just let your guard down. And when you let your guard down, what is the end result?
Things start to come in, creep in, destroy, and
it is never end up well.
Never.
When you
let your guard down.
When you let your guard down.
However, I want to discuss on that, because there is a difference between not letting down your guard and just being completely oblivious, right? It's like you should let down your guard just so you can start to let people in. Because if you are suspicious or you don't trust people, you're never really going to truly trust if you have your gates or your walls up all the time. However, being on the guard just means being aware. That's all. You see the red flags, mental note to self. I've seen this before, but I'm not going to judge. I'm going to just watch, and then I'm going to say something if I see a pattern or whatever the case might be. But being oblivious is just like, oh, everything is fine, and blah, 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 and that's not what we're talking about. So I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. And the false is that it is authentic. It exists. You understand? So it's there. As we talked about it earlier. There's a lot of false thing. But the authentic, in some things you could feel. You feel in material, in stuff that you buy. You understand?
You feel the difference. You're like, wow, the quality of this is the same as people. You could always tell when someone is being real or fake or pretentious, or someone is just authentic to who they are. They give off a different kind of energy. So it's the same feeling.
So we're talking here too on one is on a leash, the lion. He can only go so far. That is Satan. The other is on a throne, the lion, the tribe of Judah.
Interesting.
Okay?
Okay.
So again, one
So
is on
you're
a
saying
leash.
you're saying one lion is on the leash?
Yes.
Yeah,
which is
actually
the
a
devil.
lion. Okay,
Right?
interesting.
And he can only go so far.
That's
Satan
interesting.
could only go so far with doing
I like
things.
the fact that they
He's
both
not
lions, though.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, one on a leash, and it have the lion, the lion, the lion of the tribe of
Exactly.
Judah, which
So-
is our heavenly Father.
Okay, so I
The
like
creator.
this. I like this. You know why? I like the fact that they don't make the one on the leash another animal.
Right.
Because it shows that they both have the same capacity.
Satan,
Same exact thing.
Satan, and
Humans
Jesus.
or Jesus,
Yeah,
right,
Because
right.
you remember,
Right.
if you look at
Interesting.
life, right, one is on a leash, and the other one is the lion.
I love that.
All right.
Well said. And it means something so different now.
It
Right.
does. It
Because
does.
if you make the only way it could be fair is if they're the same.
Right.
The minute you make one different, it no longer is fair.
Right.
So,
But
it's
again,
fair.
as I said before, you remember Satan, what he come to do? Steal, kill, and destroy. Right?
Right.
God, our Father in heaven,
Right.
gives life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
He gives lives.
Right.
He could take it too.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
But you remember, when bad thoughts come to you,
Right.
it's not our Heavenly Father
Of course
talking
not.
to you.
Mm-mm.
You remember, he come to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to see you in jail. He
Right.
wants you to do bad. He
Right.
wants you to have a police record.
Correct.
He wants these things to
Right.
happen to you.
Right.
But on the other hand, your intuition, the Lord, no, Phyllis, don't
Right.
do it.
That's that moral
Failure,
compass.
stop.
Correct.
This will lead to destruction.
Right.
You will be motherless if you go to
Deception,
jail.
destruction.
Yes.
Right. All
It's
that
a
stuff.
different-
That's
right?
I love that. Yes.
Yes.
That's a really good point. Okay.
So Corinthians 2
Mhm.
here is saying, is a passage from the Bible that said that anyone you forgive, I also forgive. And what I have forgiven, if there was anything to forgive, I have forgiven in the sight of Christ your sake, in order that Satan might not outwit us. For we are not unaware of his schemes. There are also other passages in the Bible that have similar numbering, such as Corinthians 2, 10 and 11, which talks about how God revealed things to us through his Spirit. Corinthians 10 and 11, which talks about Paul's meekness and gentleness. So again, we just have to look back and just be wise. All right? Because,
Absolutely.
Again, sometimes we tempered, we too hot-tempered,
Absolutely.
We don't want to do the right set of things and end up into problems.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So we always have to do good, so that
Okay.
good shall follow us all the days of our life.
Excellent.
All right?
I think that this is actually a really good topic, and we actually want to hear from you, because you are viewers and the listeners, because really, when you really start to put God at the center, there's a certain way you move that just becomes so different. I was talking to my cousin today, and I said, in the past, I used to just I worked, I taught high school, then I taught summer school, then I taught night school,
Right.
then on the weekends I was doing just making ends.
Yeah.
And I was like, why was I doing all that? It never got me out of debt. It didn't
Yeah.
make me more rich. It didn't
Right.
make me travel more. And it's like, why are you doing all this? So I've lost that time away from my children, away from living life in the way I need to. And now it's like I'm starting to say, hey, it's okay to enjoy myself. It's okay to take a break from things and still be happy and still be productive and still help others. And I just think that these are the moments where you take them into consideration and you become more self-reflective, and then you act upon the new, I would say.
Right.
Because I think after the lockdown, it showed people that you don't need a lot to be okay.
Yes.
It showed people that at any
Reflection.
given time that
Anything can
our
happen.
life is like, you catch COVID Wednesday and you gone Friday. I
Yes.
remember thinking it was like a plague, and it was a plague pretty much, but it was unbelievable. You hear people who were just fine are not fine anymore. You know, so I think that moment was created to show us
reflection
and reflection. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and it's just unfortunate that people had to succumb to it, but even in that is a way sometimes for God to show us that we have to appreciate what we have and to slow down.
Slow down.
Yep, absolutely.
You understand?
Because it was then that made me slow down. Prior to that, I felt like I was like a bullet without an aim. I was just an aimless bullet. Don't know where I'm landing. I shoot, I go. That's it. Just go. And I was running myself into the ground doing that.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that. You
Right.
understand what
Right.
I'm saying? So we just want to read Ecclesiastics for you, 8 and 4. Do the right thing at the right time. Who is like the wise? Who knows the explanation of things? A person's wisdom brightens their face and changes its hard appearance. Alright? So again, do the right thing at the right time. Appropriate time and response. Between the stimulus and a response is a space. Use that space to temper your emotions. Pray, think, seek godly counsel, and respond well. Example again, as we say, you don't want to do things in a rage.
Yeah, yes.
Because rage have consequences.
That's all part of the being reactive. Right? Don't do things reactively. You need to really think about your actions before you do them. Very
And
good.
John 10:27 here is a reference to Jesus' analogy of the sheep and the shepherd. The verse means that Jesus' sheep recognize his voice and follow him, while those who don't listen to his witness are not part of his flock. Jesus is our heavenly shepherd who came from his home above to gather all who would follow him and believe on his name. The verse also introduced the contrast between those who believe and those who don't. The safety of those who really belong to Christ is emphasized. So this continues Jesus' reputation. He made several months prior after healing a man blind. There he pointed out that the sheep only recognize the voice of their particular shepherd. Those who don't listen Jesus are providing they are not part of his flocks, separating all people into two basic groups, saved and unsaved. Those who refuse to come to Christ are defined part of the group and mastered by Satan. Jesus makes this statement under dire circumstances. His critics has trapped him in a corner for the temple, daring him to repeat his calm, and apparently prepared for violence. John 3:31. In typical fashion, just not only responds with brave truth, he continues as he shows in the following verses, accumulating in the statement that seems almost deliberately intended to enrage his critics. So we're trying to say again, listen to that voice. When you know the voice talking, sometimes it's not Jesus. So he's trying to tell you, be wise.
You know what I think about this, Phyllis? You know, when I think of like when you watch the nature channels and you see the penguins after they've hatched their little penguins, baby penguins, and they're coming back from getting their fish. It's like hundreds of thousands of them on a large piece of land, and all of them find their children.
Yes.
And the children find the mothers. And they're like, how is it? But it's like they know the call.
The instinct.
They know the
instinct,
call of the mother, and the mother knows the call of the baby.
Yes.
And you're like, you passing all these babies, they all, obviously they look the same. They're all
Yeah.
black and white, right?
Yeah.
It's not like one has a mole right here. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
that. They all look exactly the same. But every mother knows their own child.
Yes.
And I think that's the same thing when you think of God. God knows you. That is your Father.
He knows what
He
you're
knows
going
all
to
of us.
think.
He knows what we think. He knows what we're going to think. He knows what we thought.
He knows
He
our
knows
heart.
our heart. He knows the hairs
He
on
doesn't
our.
look at the outer.
Absolutely, he knows the hairs, the count of the hairs on our entire body.
Yeah.
Okay, so and he knew us when we were in our mother's womb.
Yes.
So it's like
if you
He can think of
created us in
yourself-
his
yes,
image
in
and
his
likeness.
image, yeah. So if you think of God as yourself as the penguin and the baby penguin, and all you have to do is call and he's there. If they can do that, think about what he can do.
And that's why we say
It's just
sometimes,
such
you
a
know,
crazy
you want to
phenomenon.
run to your friends with your
Yeah,
problem.
nah,
Run to
man.
Jesus.
Run to God.
Pray and ask him, you know, and let him come into your life. Junior in the house. Yeah, you know, let him come to you. And God speak to us in dreams, in
Dreams.
visions,
Yep.
angels, gifts
Gifts.
and spirits, spirit to spirit,
Yep.
godly counsel,
Yep.
circumstances,
Absolutely.
prophets,
Wow.
his words, and audible versions. Again,
Yep.
God speaks to us in dreams. Sometimes you have a dream.
I'm a dreamer.
I'm not a dreamer as much, but when I dream, the dream never is for me, but it's somebody
else.
close to. My sister Betty, and she has a good. When she dreams something, it comes
It's
true,
like, yeah.
right?
Yep. I'm a dreamer.
Visions.
Yep.
Sometimes
You just see it.
you
It's in
see
your
it.
head. Yeah.
You see it in your head. Sometimes you see it before it happened to you.
People say
Like my
deja
sister
vu.
told me the other day. When I went by my sister, she got in a car accident. So my next sister said, I said, Betty, and look, Angela car get hit. You know what she said? She had seen that. I said, and you didn't call her and tell her? She said, well, I didn't get a chance, but she had seen that already. I tell her she have a good eye for
Right.
that. I don't know, you know?
Wow.
Angels, they
Yeah,
come to you.
They do.
You
Yeah.
know, and that's why I just say sometimes we listen to people speaking to us, but listen to the right voice. Because Satan deceptive too.
Yeah.
All right?
Because he knows the deal. He knows his maker.
And you know too, when I pray and I just say, let the angel take charge of the four corners, because you
I
know
love
what? You want to make sure that you're
covered.
covered. Because let me tell you,
He gonna
sometimes
seep right in.
when the enemies come in, they guard in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I always just say, let the angels, you know, surround me, because they are. They
Yeah.
are. Some people call them all kind of things, but they are.
Right.
Gifts and spirits. Some people could see. Some people have a gift for this.
Right.
Some people have discernment.
Right.
Some people have things that they could see.
Right.
Now, I don't believe in going to these people to see nothing, because
Right.
half of them living in some old house and they're
Right.
poor. So
Right.
for me, I don't go to
So if
people
you
to
think
read
that they
palm.
need to be rich.
Right. So I know I don't believe in those type of people. You know. My mother always say, you're bewitching yourself when you go to those kind of people. Oh, I need to go and get a bath. Somebody do me this, that, the other. We grew up where my mother said, no, you don't believe in
Right.
these things. You're
Holy Spirit.
bewitching yourself.
Right.
Speak to
Sometimes
Jesus.
you're putting more things
on
yourself,
you
right?
and hampering you, right?
Okay.
Spirit to spirit. Spirit, no spirit. From the time somebody walk in, you could tell, Phyllis, that person have a bad spirit. Or you know what? This person have a spirit of discernment. This was just like the lady who saw me the other day and could have tell me. You understand?
Right.
Your friends are very jealous of you. She said, but you have a good heart. You understand? And continue to do God's work.
Right.
And she don't know me from Adam.
From Adam.
That woman
Look
had
at-
seen me for the first time.
And said the same thing. But look at, you mentioned Junie.
Yes.
Right? Didn't she
Yes,
say,
June.
you know what? June. She
June.
said, I don't know her, but
Yeah,
I
June
like her,
too.
bring her. And
Yeah.
you said she ain't like the person who gonna just bring somebody up in her house like that.
Yeah.
So you invited me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm honored.
Because
Thank you.
Philly, I could have seen that
Right.
you have a good heart.
Right.
You're different. You're like
Yeah.
you're like me, simple.
Yeah.
We don't compete with one
No,
another.
not
We
at
don't
all,
have
never.
to wear the best brands or nothing. We are friends and we love each other for that. That's what
Genuine.
make it dynamic.
That's what makes it
You know?
dynamic. I love
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
Alright?
Thank you, June.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Godly counsel.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Circumstances. Sometimes you're sick in bed. Oh, God help me. All the time you don't believe in God, but He put you in a bed of affliction.
Right.
So then you want to call to Him now.
Right.
You know, please heal me. I will
Right.
change my life.
Right.
I want to do this. I will live for you. X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So circumstances, right? Prophets. They have prophets that come out
Yeah.
here and prophesy. Okay, things are
This
going
is what I
on.
see.
This is what I see. This will happen in
Right.
the year, whatever,
Right.
whatever.
And then also you have to be careful for false prophets because
Yeah.
the Bible tells you so.
Yes.
So, again, discernment. It all boils down to discernment.
Discernment, yes.
Right.
His word
Yeah. It's all in the book.
and audio version.
Audio version, right?
All right.
You can hear it, you see it. Maybe there's something, a commercial that happened on television, when you just said something to someone and you see it, it's like, oh my God, that's confirmation. God speaks to us in every way. So you don't have to hear the voice of Morgan Freeman, like on TV.
Right.
It could be a quiet voice. For me, it's quiet. It's not loud.
Quiet, yes.
It's just quiet, but I hear it. It's strong. I'm like, okay. Even like when it came down to me leaving my job after 16 years, very secure career, it was like, this is not it.
Right.
And I remember sitting in the hospital for 6 weeks writing business proposals. I didn't even have a business. And they were like, what you doing? I was like, I'm writing. What are you doing? Nurses coming in. What are you doing all night? I was like, I'm writing proposals. For what? Not sure. And they were like, okay, great. They'll give you this medication and leave. Because it almost seems like you're a little, erratic. But for me, that was God saying, just do it. And now I'm using it in my program as a director. Yeah. All those business proposals now have come in handy as a curriculum.
Right.
I didn't know what it was for, but God knew.
You had a vision.
God knew.
He
just said, just write.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And again, if you have if you have something and your heart say, you know what,
just go.
You want to do this, I would say go.
Just go.
Take a leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have the naysayers. You leaving a good job to do this, X, Y, Z.
Right.
You know, right now social media paying people.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your homes and all you have to do is to be on YouTube and you make your stuff every day.
Right.
And they send you a check. You don't even have to go out there for a 9 to 5.
Right.
You understand? So whatever you want to do, if it's a baker, you know, you could bake, expand your business, start small, family, you know, you have to have the support. Look at Marina, she into her decoration, it's going to kick off eventually, and you know,
and
she's doing her thing. Mm-hmm. She bakes, she does her thing. So whatever you want to do, and you want to be your own boss, do it.
Right.
You understand? Don't let anybody tells you, you know, you can't.
Right.
You know, as a younger girl, I got a lot of no's in my life.
Yes.
But look at me now. I'm an influencer to all you guys that listen to me. You understand?
Yeah, she's an influencer, girl.
No, I know.
No, but you're right.
It's like, you know, it's like my friend told me, you're an influencer. I say, yes. People, my opinions matter. If you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you have
she was like,
be your biggest supporter. So absolutely.
Look at June. June started off cooking. Now she has her little catering business, Lions Roots.
Right.
They're doing a lot of cooking in the area of Charlotte, and she's going to be big one day.
Right.
You know, but she should remember the small girls like us.
That's true.
You understand?
That's
so
true.
You know, whatever you want to do, you want, you have your hand, you could knit, you could sew.
Yeah, just use your talents.
Use your talents. You know, don't let that how dare you say that? June, you know we love you.
We love you, baby.
Yeah, but you know, so you know, just be
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? And I think it's really important for us to like just learn our attributes and take advantage of them, because we're all unique in God's way, and He gives us that discernment, but we gotta sometimes ask for it because we're so clouded with those distractions that it becomes really difficult. So
right.
Okay.
All right. So when God speaks to you, you should be given time to process in line with the principles of God, in alignment with God witnesses in Him, right?
Yep.
And okay, so we're wrapping up here now. Listen to God's voice. It leads to self-reliance.
Yep.
Wisdom in seeking life from God's perspective.
Yes. Amen.
All right. Comforting, convicting on confirmation. Confirmed by mature people in Christ or those who know nothing about your situation.
Yeah.
Peace producing, ultimately glorifying to God.
Amen.
God's voice calms you, leads you, reassure you, correct you, encourage you, comfort you, convicts you, glorify you. Satan's voice rushes you, pushes you, frightens you, confuses you, discourages you, stresses you, condemns you, and glorifies. All right?
So complete opposites.
Yes.
And we know that is the way that you try to avoid those voices. If you put more of God in you, then less of Satan is going to be around. Amen.
Yes.
Night,
guys. Brooklyn in the house. Okay, good.
Right.
So guys, Philly and I decided we got a request out there to start a book club.
Yes.
All right. So this month, September,
we're going to
start a book club.
It's called Breathe.
Yes.
I already have 10 copies.
Okay.
I purchased them already.
Okay.
So we are looking for, I mean, of course we can have more than 10, but I have 10 on hand.
So you want me to go get it so we can try
Yes,
it?
you have it. Yes.
One moment.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So this book is by an author, Karen Achille. We used to be co-workers when we were teachers at Abraham Lincoln High School. She moved to Atlanta, started her own business, and it's a book of poems. And I know that sometimes people see poetry, sometimes it's boring, or, you know, poems have to rhyme. But these poems are excellent. They make you self-reflect. When you read one, trust me, you feel like she's talking to you. So the book is called Breathe. It's by Karen Achille. It's on Amazon, but I do have 10 author's copies, signed copies from her that just came in the mail, and we want to start this book club, and she cannot wait to be on Motivational Monday. We're going to interview her, talk to her. She's going to give us all of her essence.
Okay, so June want to order right now.
Okay.
Okay,
great.
June. So we have 10 signed copies. So we are going
maybe
to
one. I'll read one poem just
Right.
so that you know
Okay, so
what
just-
type of
Yes.
things are in this. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna read her first poem called Insufficient Funds.
Okay.
We were never anchored. Our relationship was simply transactional, never reaching deep into the core of our being. I gave you what you needed and never got what I needed. I truly believe that my valuable deposits would soon allow for endless withdrawals, but every single transaction returned with insufficient funds.
That is very good.
So,
Okay, ship to me a signed copy and let me know how much.
okay, we can
All right,
definitely
good.
take care of you guys.
All right, good.
All right.
So, yes, so we starting. So,
We are going to start this officially. I think we should.
Today.
Why not?
Today.
Today's the day.
Today is the day. So, we starting our book club.
Our book club,
And
yes.
this is our first book, Breathe,
Breathe by
Right?
Karen Achille.
by Karen Achille.
Yes.
You need a signed copy. We have 10.
Yes.
And hit us up
Hit
to
us
get
up.
your copy. How much is a copy?
$15.
$15, very affordable. Think
Yes.
about a McDonald's meals, and
Yes.
that's it.
That's it. All
All
right.
right. So that's it. Thank you for
Thank you all for
our
logging
viewer
in.
who send the message
Yes.
that we should start a book club.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you
Thank
very,
for
very
that,
much.
because now we have
You
a
said,
really,
and we
wonderful-
listen.
You see, and we
and-
execute.
Yeah, and we execute.
We don't play.
Yes. Give us a week to
Uh-huh.
get the book.
Okay, we will.
good.
Absolutely.
Yes, so we'll
Sounds
give you
good.
a week to get
To
the
get
book.
the book. Absolutely.
And we starting our first
Yeah,
book club.
I'm excited. Yay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay.
Marina will take a copy too.
Okay, good. That's
okay,
two already.
great. So
Thank
that's
you, Marina.
two. Guys, I want to say
Yeah.
have I can Zelly and pick up. Okay, great.
That's awesome.
Okay, awesome.
We got it. We got it.
Yes. That's great.
I know. I'm
Thank
excited.
you so much. You see, Motivational
Yes,
Monday.
each one,
Someone
each
who
one.
suggested it to me, and I put it to Philly,
put
and
it
I
to
said,
me,
Philly,
and-
this person said we should start a book club.
I'm
and
like,
Philly
on
got
it.
the book
On
and-
it. And the author.
and
Hello.
and the author.
You know what
So
I
we're
mean?
gonna bring her on.
Yes, we will.
When everybody reads the book.
At least, or maybe we could do it when we all have purchased and
Yes.
maybe read a couple. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
But I've told her the time frame, so she's definitely available
Yeah,
for
I think
us.
that would be
I'm
so
I'm
interesting.
excited, and we can have an author's Q&A with her. You know, like everything. So it'll be great.
And then we could bring Marina's book back on too.
Yes, absolutely.
Remember Marina
Yes,
has
I
her
remember
book.
Marina's
So
book,
we could
yes.
always invite
Yeah,
Marina
why
or
not?
probably meet her and she could come and motivational for her chapter
not?
that
We
she
have
did.
to.
Yes, so each one teach one, guys.
Oh,
you
man, we
know,
all here love each other.
it's
support
winter
each other.
coming. We're not going anywhere,
Yeah,
so we can
this
read.
would be great. Yes,
Yes.
guys. Yes. So,
Yes.
But we look forward to seeing you again next week.
We will be in Malay.
We'll be in LA, but I think we're gonna be doing it on Monday with all
Oh,
our
yes.
costumes and just showing off to all of y'all.
Yes, we'll be,
gonna be
coming
fun.
from Mexico live.
I mean, right now this is monumental because this is where I met this lovely
Mwah.
woman
Yes.
in Mele. And after I came from Mele, I met that lovely man Kwan, which I'm gonna take out for his birthday.
Yes.
Okay?
So we want to
So
big up
lovely.
Kwan again.
Big
Let's
up
sing
Kwan.
Happy birthday for Kwan.
Happy birthday, Kwan.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kwan. Happy birthday to you. Have a blessed night, Kwan. Kwan is in the house. He's in the background.
Yeah,
all right.
always here.
Love in the house,
Love in the
guys.
house, guys.
And
walk in life, walk in love.
Marina,
walk
you'll
in
be in
peace.
Jamaica. Enjoy Jamaica.
All right.
Yes.
Show off. Awesome. We love you
All right.
guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love
See
you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful night. June, say happy birthday, Kwan.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
All right.
Thanks.
And see you each one teach
Each
one.
That's it.
All right. Have a blessed night.
Peace out.